Hello, I'm Sybil, and today I will be presenting with Brooke, Christian, and Lupita from the University of Colorado Denver's Psychology Department. Our titled study is Childhood Trauma and Serial Killers, an Investigative Meta-Analysis. The purpose of this study is to contribute to current literature exploring the motivations, demographics, and patterns associated with serial homicide. Our study is an investigative meta-analysis specifically focusing in on serial killers that experience some form of childhood trauma. Our study revealed that 85% of our sample size had experienced some subtype of childhood trauma. The information gathered could potentially be applied to carry out further investigations of serial murder or used by various agencies to help benefit public and domestic safety. The operational definition for our study for serial killer is an individual that has killed 3 or more people with a cooling off period in between each kill. For the purpose of our study, we only used serial killers from the United States and that have been active in the past 100 years and that had also only performed their killings in the United States. This definition of serial killer excludes any type of mass murder, so that will not be included in this study. The current research conventionally identifies serial killers as white males in their 20s to 40s, but in recent years, non-dominant groups have been growing in representation. Previous research has indicated that these individuals prefer to be alone, but they may also be employed, married, or regarded as intelligent. A subdivision that is in the head of research is the role of childhood trauma and how it may play a role in the development of a serial killer, specifically what we focus on in our study as our emphasis. And we also break childhood trauma down into subcategories, which will be talked about in a second. So the demographics that we used were age, race, and sex. The variables discussed are duration of killing, victims and purpose, number of convicted murders, Rappaport typology, which can be broken down into 5 categories. First being spree killer, which means a series of murders during a continuous span. Second is functionaries of organized criminality, which we purposely excluded from this study because it did not fit our operational definition of serial killer. Third is custodial killer, which includes caretakers who poison or asphyxiate a victim for gain, revenge, ideology, or twisted altruism. 4, psychotic killers, murder under the influence of delusion. 5, sexually sadistic. They derive sexual pleasure from inflicting pain on others. The most emphasized variable in this study, however, is of course childhood trauma, which was broken down into 6 subcategories to help break down what childhood trauma means. The first one being abandonment, the second one being emotional abuse, third being verbal abuse, fourth being sexual abuse, fifth being physical abuse, and sixth being an other category if anything specifically didn't fit into those first 5 categories. The provided information from this study can illuminate the harmful effects of childhood trauma and the possible trajectory it can have on accentuating the development of a serial killer.